Hi, I'm Gordon from Camera Labs, and this is my review of the Fujifilm INSTAX Mini Link 3, a portable printer for your phone that makes credit card size prints. Launched in August 2024 and available in 3 colours, it costs around $99 or £115 and uses INSTAX mini cartridges. These contain 10 prints each and are typically sold in twin packs, which work out about 70 cents or 75 pence per print. Check the links below for the latest pricing. Like previous models, it's designed to print any image you have on your phone, whether it's taken with your phone, copied from a more serious camera, or simply downloaded from somewhere. As before, you control it using the Mini-Link app for Android or iOS devices, which send the data using Bluetooth. Here's the Mini-Link on the right, joined by the new Mini-Link 3 on the left. The new model is essentially the same size and shape as before, but the power button has now been relocated to the side, leaving the front surface to sport a large INSTAX logo with 3 coloured LEDs underneath which glow to indicate the status. As before, the built-in battery, which you can't remove, is charged over USB, but thankfully the micro USB port of earlier models has finally been updated to USB-C. Fujifilm supplies an A to C cable, but you'll need to use your own AC adapter. There's also a new function button beside the power button, but the light painting LED of the previous Mini-Link 2 is no longer present. Here's a clip from my earlier Mini-Link 2 review showing how you could use it for light painting via the app, and if that looks like something you'd enjoy, then track down a Mini-Link 2 printer. They're still on sale while stocks last for much the same price, but do look out for discounts going forward. But while the Link 3 may lack light painting, it does support 2 new features on the updated app, which I believe you need the latest printer in order to unlock. I'm showing it here running on my Galaxy S20. First is Click to Collage, which works a bit like a photo booth, taking 6 selfies at 3-second intervals. The first 4 are then arranged in a 2x2 grid, ready for printing, but you can change their order or switch any of them for different poses as preferred. Then when you're happy, you can send the final arrangement to your printer. The second new feature is the updated INSTAX Air Studio, which expands on the augmented reality of previous models in order to superimpose some fun graphics. The first step is to tell the app where the floor is in your composition before adjusting it to fit the view, and again I'm demoing all this using my Galaxy S20, although it may not run as smoothly as expected as this phone wasn't on the list of officially supported models. See the INSTAX website. Once the floor has been defined, you can add 3 layers of graphics which are positioned at different depths. First, let's take a look at the background, which lets you choose from a variety of frames from bunting to balloons. Notice how, as augmented reality, they change perspective as I move the actual camera around. This particular layer is designed to appear behind you. Next for decor, which lets you place foreground objects including text, hearts or giant cupcakes, which is obviously your first choice. This layer is designed to appear in front of you on the picture, and you can adjust the position and the size. Finally, there's an animated effects layer where you could superimpose things like hearts, petals or bubbles which float up, down or around the view. Then get your subject to enter the frame and snap away as they interact with the virtual objects, or film video clips which can be shared with an expiring QR code. On my older phone, the overall response from placing objects to taking the actual photos did feel sluggish at times, but again this model wasn't on the list of supported phones, so your mileage may vary. Fujifilm generally recommends newer models for the best experience. As before, these fun features are designed to encourage you to print more, especially since the app itself won't let you actually export the digital versions of collages or AR compositions until they've already been printed. Sneaky. That said, you could simply screen grab your creation from the INSTAX app, or indeed use any other software to generate special effects, and only fire up the official INSTAX app when you actually want to print something. Which of course brings me to the core purpose of the Mini-Link, which, like previous models, is to simply print any image you have on your phone from any source. As before, you can add various frames and graphics, apply effects, arrange collages, and adjust things like the brightness, the contrast and the saturation. I always like to make INSTAX prints from photos that I've taken with better cameras, such as these holiday snaps from an X100V, or perhaps photos that would be impossible or at least very difficult with a phone camera, such as long exposures or super telephoto shots. My friend Chris Gampat from the Photographer website uses INSTAX prints to make nice looking portfolios. Meanwhile, the tall shape of INSTAX mini paper also remains well suited for printing portraits of people, again whether they're existing images that are on your phone, or perhaps sharing photos that you've just taken and transferred at maybe an event or in a street photography situation. This is where the Mini-Link printers really excel, as they're truly portable with a built-in rechargeable battery and the ability to print in any position. The prints themselves are also pretty robust, and while the image may take a couple of minutes to fade into view, they do pop out the machine very quickly and can be handled straight away. But if you want larger prints still, you should consider Canon CP1500, which makes considerably bigger 6x4 inch postcard size prints, which are also cheaper, and the printer itself can even be made portable with an optional battery. In theory, it makes more sense, but in practice, it does need a flat surface to work properly, it takes longer for the print to emerge, and the optional battery is an expensive accessory. The printer itself is also larger, it needs a tray to be fitted to work, and anecdotally, hearing from people, it does seem to be more susceptible to dust. So I think it's best to consider the CP1500 as more of a transportable printer that you take to a location, set up and just leave it there, versus the INSTAX Link models, which literally can be pulled out from a bag or even a large coat pocket, and they're always ready for action. As for which Mini-Link printer to go for, all three share the same basic quality, so it really comes down to which novelty features you prefer, which again are mostly app driven. Now, the Mini-Link app may not allow the latest AR or collage features when they're connected to older printers, but again, there's nothing stopping you from generating similar effects with a different app, and again, only firing up Fujifilm's INSTAX app when you actually want to print an image. But if you do love all these new features and you do want to do it all in the official INSTAX app, then go for the Mini-Link 3. Otherwise, I'd say keep an eye open for previous models, which may be available slightly cheaper going forward. I was actually quite fond of the light painting on the previous Mini-Link 2, although my favourite printer in the series is the square version, as I just prefer that shape. And if you're interested in any of the INSTAX Link printers, I've got reviews here of all of them, including that Canon printer that I mentioned. And that's it for this review. Do let me know what you think in the comments, and if you found it useful, please do consider giving the video a like and my channel a follow. I really appreciate it. Oh, and there's also the latest pricing for the printer and media in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.